Most people remember the briefcase. Some remember the dance. But true fans remember the motorcycle. Gold, stretched, unapologetically outrageous. These are 20 weird facts about Pulp Fiction's chopper that will completely change how you see that machine. Number 20. It was designed to look like trouble before it ever moved. The chopper in Pulp Fiction was never meant to blend in. From the moment it appears on screen, it commands attention with its elongated front end, gleaming gold frame, and exaggerated proportions. That visual aggression was intentional. The motorcycle was built to look excessive, slightly dangerous, and unmistakably outlaw, even before a single engine rev. Its extended Springer fork pushes the front wheel far ahead of the frame, creating that most classic stretch silhouette associated with 1970s chopper culture. The high handlebars, slim solo seat, and raked geometry make the rider appear almost perched rather than seated. It is not a comfortable commuter machine, it is a statement. The design exaggerates individuality and rebellion. In a film defined by stylized violence and heightened reality, the chopper fits perfectly. It looks like something that belongs in a fever dream. Of Americana, chrome, and gold clashing with desert sunlight, Tarantino did not choose a neutral motorcycle. He chose a visual exclamation point. The bike does not whisper character traits. It screams at them. Before Butch ever rides away on it, the audience understands what it represents: escape through excess. That theatrical design makes it more than transportation. It becomes part of the film's visual mythology, standing alongside suits, guns, and dialogue as an icon of stylized cool. Number 19. It was not originally built for the movie.
It's not a motorcycle, baby, it's a chopper. Come on, let's go.
What happened to my Honda?
I'm sorry.
Contrary to popular belief, the Pulp Fiction chopper was not custom-built exclusively for the film. It was an existing custom motorcycle that the production acquired and incorporated into the story. This detail makes its presence even more interesting. Rather than designing a prop from scratch, the filmmakers selected a machine that already embodied the aesthetic they wanted. That authenticity matters. The chopper culture of the 1970s was rooted in personal craftsmanship, not studio fabrication. By using a real custom build, the film captured genuine geometry and mechanical detail that would be difficult to replicate artificially. The long rake, narrow tank, and Springer front end were not exaggerated beyond reality. They were grounded in actual chopper tradition. That grounding adds credibility beneath the film's stylized tone. It also means the motorcycle carried a history before cameras ever rolled. Custom builds often reflect the personality of their original creator. While the movie recontextualized the bike within Butch's storyline, the machine itself existed as a functional piece of chopper culture. The film did not invent its identity, it amplified it. That choice reinforces how Tarantino blends authenticity with cinematic flair. The motorcycle feels real because it is real. It simply found itself elevated into pop culture legend. Number 18. The gold finish was chosen to feel excessive, not practical.
Which motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Which chopper is this?
Zed's.
The chopper's gold appearance is impossible to ignore. Whether powder-coated, plated, or painted with metallic finish, the effect is flamboyant and theatrical. It does not suggest subtlety, it suggests indulgence. That choice was deliberate. In a gritty Los Angeles crime story filled with moral ambiguity, the gold motorcycle stands out almost absurdly. It feels like something stolen from a dream sequence. Gold reflects light dramatically, especially under desert sun. Cinematically, it creates visual pop against asphalt and sky. But practically, gold finishes are high maintenance. They show scratches easily. They demand polishing. They attract attention everywhere they go. That impracticality enhances the symbolism. Butch is not escaping quietly. He is riding away on a machine that refuses anonymity. The gold finish amplifies the fantasy tone of the escape scene. It transforms what could have been a simple getaway into an operatic exit. The motorcycle becomes a trophy of survival rather than just a vehicle. It reflects Tarantino's flair for heightened style over realism. The gold is not about function, it is about myth-making. In a world where violence and dialogue are stylized, the motorcycle needed to match that intensity visually. And nothing whispers understatement like gold chrome under bright sun, which is exactly why this bike shouts instead. Number 17. Its stretch geometry makes it harder to ride than it looks. Long fork choppers may look smooth and glamorous on film, but their geometry changes handling dramatically. The Pulp Fiction chopper features an extended rake and springer front end that shift weight distribution and steering dynamics. That elongated front makes low-speed maneuvering more challenging than a standard motorcycle. Turning radius increases. Steering input feels slower. Stability at higher speeds improves in a straight line, but tight turns demand effort. This is not a beginner-friendly machine. The visual cool factor hides practical difficulty. That contrast adds an interesting layer to the escape scene. Butch rides away confidently, yet the machine itself requires skill. It is not forgiving. The long wheelbase changes how weight transfers under braking and acceleration. The narrow front tire, typical of chopper builds, also affects grip and feedback. These design choices prioritize style and identity over agility. That trade-off defines chopper culture. Form often leads to function. In the film's context, the exaggerated geometry enhances the mythic quality of the moment. But mechanically, it represents commitment. Riding a machine like that is about embracing its quirks. The stretch proportions may look effortless on screen, but in reality, they demand respect and experience. That tension between cinematic smoothness and mechanical challenge makes the chopper even more fascinating. Number 16. It became more famous than many hero cars in the film. The montage Pulp Fiction features several memorable vehicles, yet the chopper often steals the spotlight despite limited screen time. It appears primarily in the final act, yet its image lingers in pop culture. That disproportionate impact speaks to visual design and narrative placement. The motorcycle represents freedom at the end of chaos. After violence, tension, and betrayal, it becomes the instrument of escape. That symbolic weight elevates it beyond a background prop. Many films feature hero cars that dominate screen time. The chopper does not need that. Its brief appearance is amplified by context. It arrives at a pivotal moment. The gold gleam contrasts sharply with this gritty motel setting. The sound of its engine marks transition. In cinematic terms, it functions as punctuation. It closes a chapter. That placement cements its memorability. Merchandise, posters, and fan art frequently include the chopper alongside iconic imagery from the film. Its design is instantly recognizable. Few motorcycles achieve that level of association from limited exposure. The chopper's fame is not about screen minutes. It is about narrative timing and visual audacity. It leaves an imprint because it represents a decisive turn. That is the power of a well-chosen machine in the right moment. Number 15. It represents outlaw mythology without a biker gang in sight. The Pulp Fiction chopper carries heavy outlaw biker symbolism, yet there is no biker gang attached to it in the film. No leather-clad crew, no roaring formation down a desert highway. The motorcycle stands alone, detached from the subculture that originally gave machines like it cultural weight. That isolation is fascinating. Long fork choppers became iconic through 1960s and 1970s outlaw imagery, popularized by films like Easy Rider. Extended forks, high handlebars, and custom paint jobs symbolized anti-establishment identity. They were visual declarations of separation from mainstream society. In Pulp Fiction, that aesthetic is transplanted into a crime narrative with no formal biker presence. Butch does not belong to a motorcycle club. He is not part of a chopper brotherhood. Yet, when he rides away on that machine, he inherits the outlaw aura instantly. The motorcycle does the storytelling for him. Its geometry, stance, and finish evoke rebellion without exposition. That borrowed symbolism compresses decades of cultural shorthand into a single scene. Tarantino understands visual language deeply. He uses the chopper as narrative shorthand for freedom and defiance without needing dialogue to explain it. The absence of a biker gang actually heightens the effect. The bike becomes a lone wolf symbol. It suggests independence rather than allegiance. That subtle shift makes the motorcycle feel mythic rather than subcultural. It transcends its roots while still drawing power from them. Number 14. Its engine sound reinforces fantasy over realism. The chopper's engine note in Pulp Fiction feels clean, assertive, and cinematic. It does not sputter or hesitate. It fires up decisively and pulls away with confident rhythm. That polished audio presentation enhances the escape fantasy. In reality, highly customized choppers can be temperamental. Carburetor tuning, ignition timing, and exhaust setups often require fine adjustment. Starting one on the first try, especially in a tense situation, is not guaranteed. Yet in the film, the motorcycle behaves flawlessly. That reliability is part of the illusion. Sound design plays a crucial role. The exhaust tone is crisp and controlled, not raw or chaotic. It supports the triumphant mood of the scene. Audio editors likely refine the engine's sound to emphasize authority rather than mechanical imperfection. That creative decision transforms the motorcycle into a narrative tool rather than a mechanical object. It symbolizes clean escape rather than gritty unpredictability. The auditory polish matches the visual gold finish. Both elements push the moment slightly beyond realism into stylized myth. The engine note becomes the soundtrack to survival. It marks the boundary between entrapment and freedom. In cinema, sound shapes emotion as powerfully as visuals. The chopper's roar is not just combustion, it is punctuation. Number 13. It is wildly impractical for urban crime logistics.
There's just think dreadful thoughts.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't mean to worry. Everything's fine. How was your breakfast?
From a purely practical standpoint, the Pulp Fiction chopper is an absurd getaway vehicle. Its long wheelbase makes tight maneuvering difficult. Its high handlebars reduce aerodynamic efficiency. Its stretch fork complicates quick turns in confined spaces. In a dense urban environment, a nimble sport bike or standard motorcycle would offer superior agility. Yet the film deliberately chooses impracticality. That choice emphasizes character over logic. Butch is not escaping with tactical precision. He is escaping with flair. The chopper's impracticality reinforces the film's stylized tone. It prioritizes image and emotional payoff over procedural realism. This aligns with Tarantino's broader storytelling approach, where dialogue and aesthetic often outweigh conventional logic. The motorcycle's exaggerated form becomes part of the theatricality. It is not meant to be the smartest choice, it is meant to be the most iconic one. That contrast between functionality and spectacle defines the scene. The chopper's presence signals that this escape operates in heightened cinematic space, not gritty documentary realism. It transforms a getaway into a statement. Practical vehicles disappear into background utility. This one refuses invisibility. Number 12. It echoes 1970s cinema inside a 1990s film.
With this guy, right? And he just unloaded on this guy, and nothing happened. He didn't hit nothing.
Pulp Fiction is deeply rooted in film history, and the chopper serves as a visual callback to 1970s counterculture cinema. Long fork motorcycles were central to the aesthetic of films like Easy Rider, where the chopper symbolized freedom, rebellion, and outsider identity. By placing a similar machine in a 1990s crime narrative, Tarantino bridges eras. The motorcycle becomes a cinematic reference point. It pulls visual DNA from an earlier decade and inserts it into a new context. That intertextual layering is classic Tarantino. The chopper does not just function within the story, it nods to film history itself. Viewers familiar with older Outlaw films subconsciously register the homage. The machine becomes both prop and reference. Its gold finish and exaggerated rake amplify that nostalgic echo. It feels like a relic transported forward in time. That temporal blending reinforces the film's overall aesthetic, which mixes vintage music, retro dialogue rhythms, and modern storytelling. The chopper embodies that fusion physically. It connects past cinematic rebellion to contemporary narrative cool. Number 11. It transforms Butch from hunted to heroic in seconds.
Dead.
Before mounting the chopper, Butch is a fugitive navigating chaos. After climbing onto it, his energy shifts instantly. the motorcycle becomes an instrument of transformation. Cinematically, posture changes everything. Seated upright in a car, a character feels enclosed. Straddling a long, gleaming chopper in open air creates a heroic silhouette. The handlebars frame the rider's body. The extended fork projects forward like a spear. The gold gleam adds a mythic aura. In a matter of seconds, the motorcycle reframes Butch's identity. He is no longer reacting, he is advancing. The machine provides visual empowerment. That transformation is not subtle, it is theatrical. The camera lingers long enough for the audience to absorb the shift. The chopper becomes armor, and the throne simultaneously. It elevates him from survival mode to triumphant exit. That symbolic metamorphosis is why the motorcycle remains unforgettable. It is not just about transportation, it is about identity crystallization. Few vehicles achieve such narrative compression so quickly. The chopper does it effortlessly. Number 10. It was likely built around a classic American V-twin platform, not a boutique show motor. While the gold frame and stretched fork scream spectacle, the foundation of the Pulp Fiction chopper was almost certainly far more traditional. Custom choppers of that era were commonly built around proven American V-twin engines, often Harley-Davidson or Harley-based aftermarket platforms. That detail matters because beneath the flamboyant exterior sat mechanical familiarity. The engine architecture would have been air-cooled, carbureted, and torque-heavy rather than high-revving. Choppers prioritize low-end grunt and steady cruising over explosive acceleration. That makes them feel authoritative rather than frantic. In the film, this subtle mechanical character reinforces the calm confidence of the Escape. The bike does not scream like a sports machine. It pulses. That pulse suggests control. It also reflects chopper culture's roots in customization rather than factory perfection. Builders often modified frames, raked neck angles, and extended forks while keeping a reliable engine core. The contrast between wild geometry and traditional powertrain creates an interesting duality. Outward rebellion paired with internal, mechanical conservatism. That balance mirrors the film's aesthetic, flashy surface layered over grounded storytelling structure. Even though the audience sees gold and stretch, the heartbeat underneath is classic American twin-cylinder rhythm. That grounding gives the chopper authenticity beneath its theatrical finish. It is not a fragile showpiece powered by something exotic. It is likely driven by a familiar mechanical architecture that has powered countless custom builds for decades. The spectacle rests on tradition. Number 9. The Springer front end is pure nostalgia engineering. One of the most visually distinctive features of the Pulp Fiction chopper is its Springer front end. Unlike modern telescopic forks, a Springer suspension uses external springs and linkages to absorb bumps. This design dates back to early motorcycle engineering before hydraulic forks became dominant. By the 1990s, Springers were largely nostalgic choices rather than performance upgrades. They evoke old-school craftsmanship and vintage rebellion. Including one on the chopper instantly reinforces retro credibility. It visually separates the bike from contemporary sport motorcycles or factory cruisers. The exposed springs and pivoting arms give the front end mechanical drama. Every bump compresses visible hardware. That movement feels raw and tactile. It also aligns with the film's broader aesthetic, which blends modern crime narrative with retro stylistic elements. The Springer fork becomes a physical manifestation of that hybrid tone. From a handling perspective, Springers can be less precise than modern forks, especially when extended dramatically. They are about feel and look more than razor-sharp performance. That trade-off reinforces the chopper's commitment to identity over efficiency. The choice was not accidental. A telescopic fork would have looked too ordinary. The Springer adds character instantly. It turns the front of the bike into sculpture. It also subtly reinforces the outlaw heritage embedded in chopper culture. Nostalgia becomes engineering, and engineering becomes storytelling. Number 8. It exaggerates rider posture into cinematic dominance. Choppers change how a rider sits. The extended forks and high handlebars stretch the rider's arms outward. The low solo seat drops the hips closer to the rear wheel. This posture transforms body language. On a standard motorcycle, the rider appears balanced and neutral. On the Pulp Fiction chopper, the rider appears elongated and commanding, arms wide, back slightly reclined, chin forward. That posture reads powerfully on camera. It creates a silhouette that feels dominant even at moderate speed. Tarantino understands framing deeply. When Butch mounts the bike, his physical presence expands visually. The machine reshapes his outline. That visual amplification reinforces his narrative shift from hunted to triumphant. The chopper is not just a vehicle, it is a posture enhancer. The stretched geometry forces a certain aesthetic. Even the act of gripping those handlebars feels theatrical. It is impossible to ride that motorcycle inconspicuously. The rider becomes part of the sculpture. That transformation is crucial. Without dialogue, the bike changes how the character is perceived. The elongated stance feels larger than life. It turns a simple ride into an operatic departure. That posture-driven drama is part of why the chopper scene lingers in memory long after the credits roll. Number 7. It reflects the 1990s revival of custom culture. Magazine cover. By the time Pulp Fiction was released in the 1990s, custom chopper culture was experiencing a renewed wave of interest. Independent builders were reviving classic long fork aesthetics while blending modern fabrication techniques. The film tapped into that revival indirectly. The chopper feels like a relic from the 70s, yet its presence in a contemporary film aligns with that resurgence. During that period, custom motorcycles were re-emerging as artistic statements rather than just subcultural symbols. Fabrication shops were gaining media attention. Magazine features highlighted hand-built machines with exaggerated geometry. The Pulp Fiction chopper fits squarely into that aesthetic movement. It is stylized but not cartoonish. It carries authenticity without parody. That timing matters. If the film had been made a decade earlier, the chopper might have felt dated. In the 1990s context, it felt retro cool. Tarantino's entire filmmaking style embraces retro homage blended with modern pacing. The motorcycle mirrors that formula perfectly. It resurrects visual language from earlier decades and places it within contemporary narrative structure. That cultural alignment strengthens its impact. The chopper does not feel random. It feels curated. It participates in the same revivalist energy that defines the film's soundtrack and dialogue rhythms. Number 6. It closes the film with mechanical punctuation. The final act of Pulp Fiction is chaotic, violent, and tense. When Butch escapes on the chopper, the tone shifts abruptly. The motorcycle's ignition and departure function as punctuation. The engine note marks transition. The visual of gold against desert sky signals resolution. That closing ride does not merely move the character geographically, it resets emotional tempo. The chopper becomes a narrative period at the end of a long, fragmented sentence. Its presence is brief, but its impact is decisive. The motorcycle symbolizes exit from entanglement. It carries finality. Unlike cars seen earlier in the film, the chopper feels singular. It is not shared. It is not borrowed. It is claimed. That distinction amplifies its symbolic weight. The ride away is not frantic. It is deliberate. The elongated silhouette disappearing into the distance reinforces closure. Tarantino often uses music and visual composition to end scenes memorably. Here, the motorcycle does the heavy lifting visually. It becomes the last strong mechanical image tied to Butch's storyline. Few vehicles end films so cleanly. The chopper does not just transport, it concludes. Number 5. Its fuel tank shape reinforces classic chopper identity. The fuel tank on the Pulp Fiction chopper is slim, elongated, and unmistakably traditional. It is not bulky. It does not attempt to hide mechanical elements beneath modern plastic fairings. Instead, it sits cleanly atop the frame, emphasizing the stretched backbone beneath it. That tank silhouette is rooted deeply in classic chopper culture, where builders often selected narrow peanut style or custom elongated tanks to accentuate frame geometry. The tank's proportions amplify the long lines of the motorcycle. It visually pulls the eye from handlebars to seat in one uninterrupted sweep. In cinema, that fluid shape reads elegantly. It prevents the bike from looking cluttered despite its bold finish. A wider tank would have disrupted the stretched illusion. The narrow design enhances the skeletal appearance that defines choppers. It exposes more engines. It reveals more frames. That openness contributes to the raw mechanical aesthetic. The tank is not merely functional storage for fuel. It is a structural component of the bike's visual identity. Its placement reinforces the idea that this motorcycle is about line and proportion first, practicality second. That deliberate shaping strengthens the chopper's cinematic impact. Every curve aligns with the exaggerated rake and extended fork. It completes the sculpture. Number 4. It likely sacrificed comfort entirely for style. Choppers of this style are rarely built for long-distance comfort. The Pulp Fiction motorcycle features a solo seat, positioned low and slightly rearward, often with minimal padding. Combined with forward foot controls and high handlebars, this creates a stretched riding posture that looks dramatic, but can strain the lower back and shoulders over time. Suspension travel on extended Springer builds is typically limited compared to modern touring bikes. Every bump transfers more directly through the frame. This is not a plush cruiser, it is a visual statement. That sacrifice aligns perfectly with the film's commitment to aesthetic over realism. The chopper's purpose in the story is not to log highway miles comfortably. It is to create a mythic exit. Style dictates design choices. Long forks alter steering geometry. Narrow tires reduce contact patch. Minimal seating reduces comfort. All of those compromises reinforce the commitment to identity. The motorcycle exists to project attitude, not ergonomic refinement. In the context of the film, that trade-off enhances authenticity. It feels like a true custom build rather than a studio-friendly prop engineered for convenience. Its likely discomfort reinforces its outlaw spirit. The machine demands commitment from the rider, and commitment reads powerfully on screen. Number 3. It functions as a visual heir to Easy Rider's Captain America bike. Whether intentional or subconscious, the Pulp Fiction chopper evokes visual memories of iconic long fork machines from earlier American cinema, especially the Captain America bike from Easy Rider. Both feature exaggerated rake angles, stretched silhouettes, and gleaming finishes that dominate the frame. While the finishes differ, patriotic paint versus gold flamboyance, the design language overlaps. Long forks signal cinematic rebellion. They elongate the rider's shadow and create immediate recognition. Tarantino's filmmaking often references and recontextualizes past film history. The presence of this chopper feels like a quiet nod to that lineage. It carries the DNA of cinematic outlaw imagery into a new narrative. Unlike Easy Rider, however, Pulp Fiction strips away communal biker identity and replaces it with individual survival. The motorcycle becomes less about the counterculture community and more about personal escape. That shift modernizes the symbolism while honoring its roots. The chopper bridges decades of American film language. It acknowledges the past without imitating it directly. That layered reference strengthens its presence. It becomes part of a visual conversation between eras. Number 2. Its minimal instrumentation reinforces raw simplicity.
So your motorcycle's key switch, it looks kind of like this. So when you pull the key out, those little spring-loaded pins.
Custom choppers often feature stripped-down dashboards with little more than a speedometer and essential controls. The Pulp Fiction motorcycle appears consistent with that tradition. There is no elaborate instrument cluster, no protective fairing housing digital displays, just basic mechanical feedback. That minimalism contributes to its raw aesthetic. It suggests a machine focused on motion rather than data. In narrative terms, that simplicity reinforces the idea of direct escape. There are no distractions, no complexity, just ignition, throttle, and road. That stripped approach mirrors the decisive tone of the scene. Butch is not calculating telemetry, he is leaving. The absence of visual clutter keeps the audience focused on silhouette and movement. It aligns with chopper philosophy, where builders often remove unnecessary components to emphasize frame lines. The motorcycle feels elemental: engine, wheels, bars, fuel. That reduction enhances its mythic quality. It becomes archetypal rather than technical. In a film known for dialogue density, The chopper's mechanical silence, visually speaking, becomes a powerful contrast. It communicates through form, not features. Clip idea 1. Close-up of simple gauge mounted near handlebars. Clip idea 2. Ignition switch turn, followed by clean engine startup. Number 1. It became immortal through seconds of screen time. The Pulp Fiction chopper appears only briefly, yet it achieved lasting cultural recognition. That disproportionate legacy reveals the power of placement and design. The motorcycle enters at a pivotal narrative moment. It is not background scenery. It is the vehicle of liberation. The gold gleam, stretched fork, and upright posture create an image that embeds instantly in memory. Iconic objects do not require extended exposure, they require impact. The chopper delivers that impact decisively. Its departure scene feels final and triumphant. It carries the weight of transformation. The machine becomes inseparable from that emotional resolution. Posters, merchandise, and fan art continue to feature its silhouette decades later. It achieved immortality not through repetition, but through precision timing. The chopper represents the art of choosing the right machine for the right cinematic heartbeat. Its legend grows precisely because it appears, dominates, and disappears. That restraint fuels its mystique. It leaves audiences wanting one more glimpse, which is exactly why it lingers. The Pulp Fiction chopper is more than stretched metal and gold shine. It is cinematic punctuation, cultural callback, and outlaw mythology wrapped into one machine. In just moments of screen time, it transformed escape into legend, proving that sometimes the right motorcycle becomes unforgettable forever.